there's further improvements in our web UI. The reason I want to improve it as much as possible is because in the upcoming written article, which will be basis of a live stream, day stream, I want the web UI to be in a place where I don't have any more issues. So if you if you remember, for example, yesterday I tweaked the models and everything, so it was getting perfect. I was getting better results. I've added more features. One of the problems is it's clipping. So that's what we're going to discuss. I will show you how to prevent clipping, especially when you use larger models. Larger models output more content because they explain what they have done, and I don't really appreciate that because I just want to get the answer. Maybe one paragraph is enough, but sometimes they write like pages and pages explaining why they did that. So that's fine, but the problem is it gets clipped off. So that's what I'm going to resolve that today, and I'll show you how to resolve it. Now, just be aware that obviously if you have a smaller model, you won't have this issue. The bigger model, you're going to have an issue. One of the problems is they like to use RAM. I've mentioned this several times. So if you do use my settings, just be aware that you will need more RAM. And obviously I have the VRAM for especially the chat model, so it's not a problem for me, but just be aware of that. And also, if you remember, I will also talk about the containerization and all that in a second. The other thing I want to talk about is I'll talk about as well, I'm hoping I can finish it up today, is, as you know, I switched over from I was using Alpaca before. That was really good. I was happy with it. Then I went to Llama. Problem was it would not utilize the GPU. There's probably some settings, but I didn't feel like going to all these different APIs and sending the information. So I went to Llama, and Llama has blown my mind. Like, even just running only on the CPU, it's way faster than anything I've done before. I mean, any of the, at least the local AI stuff, way faster. In fact, some of the questions I ask it outputs answers me even faster than the other proprietary models that I've been using, including ChatGPT, what is the one from Google, Gemini, and others, Microsoft's one, whatever. So I'm really impressed with that. Obviously, with the GPU, as you guys saw yesterday, it just blows it out of the water. The other thing I want to talk about is I did a live stream today, but I didn't realize that I put it on unlisted. Strangely enough, I still got some views from it. I guess people went to the website and they followed the instructions where I say go to the go to the watch menu, live sub menu, and see the top. So people did that. So thank you very much for doing that. It was only for YouTube. The others, even right now on Odyssey, Rumble, and BitChute, those ones are perfectly fine. It was just the one from YouTube that was messed up. But that's been. I said I'll pay more attention to that in the future. Okay, so those are the three things. What I'm saying is that I did do a live stream today. I had to schedule it, so I'm guessing it should be there. I think I set it for midnight today or sometime in the morning. I can't remember. But it's actually related. The reason for that is just a quick reminder that I will probably stop doing Git related stuff for a while. The reason for that is the beginner stuff. I pretty much went through everything, and in the maybe 4 or 5 months ago, when I tried to do something slightly more advanced, it didn't do very well. So I would love to do stuff like that, but I have to be aware of what my audience likes or doesn't like. So what I'll do is I'm going to move away from Git stuff for a while. If you guys want me to do Git stuff, I don't mind. Just request it. So that slot, basically what I'm saying is that slot's going to be taken up most likely by AI, because there's a lot of AI stuff I can't even get to. That's why I'm even doing this stuff at night, because there's so much stuff going on that there's no way for me to keep up. All right. Speaking of AI, I might have found a replacement for ComfyUI, just like I found like this Llama.cpp, which I said it's smaller, it takes up less resources. I'm talking just disk space, RAM, and all that. So I found one. It's called stable-diffusion.cpp. It's built, or it's inspired by Llama.cpp. So it basically, what they do is they, instead of relying on Python libraries and all this and stuff, what they did is they compiled everything down into C and C++ as much as possible. I think C++. So clearly it's going to be the size, the memory usage, everything is significantly obviously smaller, and it's faster. So that's a good thing. That will mean that some of those models I was struggling with ComfyUI, I'll probably be able to run them. So speaking of that as well, there's also some issues with ComfyUI is taking up too much space. It's not really ComfyUI's problem. It's most likely the models. So what I think, if I get rid of ComfyUI, I can get back some disk space, and obviously I only keep the models that I need. I'll probably keep one. I'll probably keep one for image generation, and for the video ones, I think I have like 3 or 4. So I don't need all of them. I'll probably just pick one. I did get pretty good results with the LTX. That was actually the best result so far, and the other one was the WAN 2.2. I think it was 5B, if I remember correctly. So that's the one I will most likely keep as well, and then I'll free up some more space until I can get a bigger hard drive. Okay, so be sure. Oops, what is that saying? Oh, I thought it was giving me the same message about disk space. Okay, so be sure to check up yesterday's tutorial. But if you didn't, that's no problem. So what inspired this was actually this article. The link is also in the description for this. It's Web UI for AI DeepSeek R132B model. So as you can see, what I did is I created my own web UI. I was very disappointed with some of the other UIs. They had they had too much stuff. That wasn't the big problem. It's just that it slowed down. There were bugs, and that was really frustrating because I had to I didn't want to use proprietary stuff, but I still want to test things. So even when I was trying to test my own, like I tested like I think it was what is it called, Tiny GTP, and what was the other small one I tested? It's really small ones. I was using the same things they did, and it was even in Podman or just on my system. It was still, I didn't like the performance. They did work, but I didn't like the performance. So what I would like to do now that I'm using Llama.cpp, it's much faster, and I can tell you that if you have a low spec device, you can run AI models locally as well, whether it's a laptop or for example something like a Raspberry Pi. But obviously you won't be able to get like a fancy UI or anything like that. You have to obviously rely on the command line. But if you create your own UI like I did, you can make it as low spec as possible. So for example, see mine, it's very simple. The only JavaScript I use, which I explained yesterday, is I use one for Markdown, and I use another one for syntax highlighting, and those are CDNs, so they're not going to use too many resources. Now, if you don't like any of that stuff, for example, if you're not doing coding, you don't need the syntax highlighting. The Markdown is pretty easy. You can just get the Markdown output and put it into your Markdown editor if you want to do it that way. So like I said, that's the type of freedom I always teach you guys, is that you're not beholden to one particular way of doing things. That's what I like. You can do it the way you feel you see fit, and that's what I'm here for. All right. Before I continue, just be sure to subscribe if you haven't, like and follow, because that helps the channel grow, and it helps bring in new users or viewers. So what happens is we all learn. Like I said, I'm still learning, And just in I guess last week, look how much stuff I did learn. And that's because of viewers just like you. Like if I make a mistake, you guys see it. Some people help me out and make suggestions, and I learn and I share. I share. That's what I'm here for. So with that said, even right now when I'm doing my web UI, obviously I'm tweaking it as well, because obviously I'm a programmer, and I'm pretty good with the front end stuff, back end stuff as well. So I'm finding performance. Anywhere there's performance improvements, obviously I'll tweak it. If you guys see any, just let me know. So I'll show you what I have so far. And as I said before, the reason I want to get it in a perfect state is because I want to test out a model in a few days, and I want my web UI to be fine. So that way I don't have to rely on some other some other type of UI which doesn't do what I want. So all I care about, especially for chat AI, is I want to give it I want to ask it I want to request something, it puts it out there, I can read it. For example, it's unlikely I'll ask for code, but they claim that it's supposed to replace someone like me for coding. I haven't seen that yet, and I'm not even just talking about the local stuff. I'm talking about the proprietary stuff. I have contacts, if you will, who trained the really fancy models. They have access to them. So I send them the same stuff you see here, and I haven't been impressed with the output, right? So that should tell you that it still has a long way to go. Most likely, it might be in a state where it can replace someone like me by the time I retire, and I still have although I'm an old guy, still have a way to go. All right, so let me make sure all these other live streams are going well. Looks like YouTube is fine. I'm gonna check out Odyssey. I don't know what's wrong with Odyssey. It's you have to why do I have to refresh twice? That's kind of annoying. Let me see Rumble. Okay, you serious? Rumble I have to refresh too? Okay, fine. Okay, Rumble seems to be fine. And I'm guessing for BitChute as well. Looks like YouTube is fine. Okay, fine. BitChute is fine. Okay, Odyssey says it's not live right now. Okay, so can I refresh, or is it going to? Okay, so make play here. Okay, it seems to be fine. Okay, great. So if you want to chat, if you want to put something in the chat request, I'll take a look. Unfortunately, even right now, I'm using OBS. I still don't have the browser dock, so I'll need to basically tab to different so I'll try to do that maybe every 10-15 minutes during this screencast or live stream, so that I can see what's going on. All right, so without further ado, so this model here, the DeepSeek R132B, the reason I got it was because I knew it would fit on my system in terms of RAM and the VRAM as well. If you're new here, I upgraded my system. I can't even remember how long. I think less than 2 months ago. And I used to have a Intel 2600, no, i7 2600 from 2011. It had 16 gigs of RAM, and it had an NVIDIA GTX 950, which had 2 gigs of VRAM. So I was able to run any AI locally I want. Obviously, the bigger models were slow, but I was able to run. The only thing I never tried was image generation. No, that's not true. I was earlier this year. I was still able to generate images using Stable Diffusion. I was using Easy Diffusion. I was able to generate images. Then something changed, I think, in April, where I was no longer able to generate images no matter what I did. Like I'm talking even bad images, whatever. I was not able to generate images anymore. So I gave up on that. Then I just concentrated on the text. I wasn't too happy with the text, and it's progressively got slower and slower. And upgraded my system. It's all AMD, so I have an AMD 5600 GT. The G obviously stands for integrated graphics. I'll explain that why later. And then I used one from eBay. I got an AMD Instinct MI60 GPU. Now, if you've never heard of that, that's because it's a server, most likely for crypto mining. So it doesn't come with any cooling system. So I purchased a fan shroud for it. It's 3D printed and came with a 40 millimeter fan. So now the problem with this is that I can't use the BIOS because by default it shoots up to 1800 RPM. So it's very loud, really annoying. Now I could jimmy something up so it reads the temperature from the GPU, but I didn't want to do that. I dislike ATX cases and the motherboards because they're so small. I always cut my fingers when I'm working with stuff. I really dislike that. I wish they still had like the full motherboard size. I guess that's no longer popular. So I think this name for this one, I think they call them half. I think they call them half ATX, but they just called ATX. I guess just took over. So what I did is I found the sensors for my motherboard, this MSI, and then I installed that driver. I used DKMS. So that means that, for example, I just recently did a major upgrade. It automatically rebuild. I don't have to build it manually. It automatically rebuild the sensors for me. Then I used a program called Cooler Control, where I can now manually set the fan, especially when I'm doing AI stuff. The temperature jumps up very quickly, like in a blink of an eye. It will go from 40 to 100 and above. Obviously when it's 100, the motherboard panics, and that's the end of everything. So I in the BIOS I set the RPMs to about 2800 because that's way less noisy. There's just a little whiny sound, which is fine. I can barely hear it. And then when I need AI, I just set it manually. Now I did create my own fan profile based on a script, but I decided that one, it doesn't make any sense. So because if something goes wrong, I don't want to like burn the house down, right? So I prefer to do it manually. So that works for me. Okay, so let's get started in today's tutorial. So this is my web UI I created before. As you can see, the reason I chose DeepSeek R132B because I said it's a big model, probably one of the biggest models I could test, and I was using Llama, as I said before. I no longer use Llama. One of my pet peeves with Llama is this: it's easy to start it, but there's no way to stop it. So that's actually the reason that I moved away from it, is because it left zombie processes, and those zombie processes would not let go of the GPU. So what I used to do before was when I'm recording, when I'm doing a live stream, I use the integrated graphics for the live stream, and then for recording I was using the dedicated GPU because it's barely used. So the problem is, because that's also one that's used for the AI stuff during the live stream, when Llama wouldn't release it, you can guess what happened. So the video recording got corrupted. So I was like, okay, I'm done with that. Now, Llama has some great things. For example, you just type Llama pool and you get the model for you. So that was fantastic, but unfortunately, it also converts it into its own format. So meaning that I had to download this model twice when I switched to Llama.cpp. So that's perfectly fine as well. So I just use, so this is the code if you want the that one. As I said, I did improve. I've made so many improvements on this. The base code, including the Python, is the same. So this is a screenshot of my cooler fan control. And then, as you can see here, here's the problem. The first problem, you can see when you request something, it just outputs everything right there. So it has run-on sentences. It's very hard to read. So you might think, oh. For example, this is one of the questions, a simple question like, who's the mayor of Toronto? You see that? He puts all that stuff there, and as I said, the bigger models, they like to explain why they came up with that answer. That isn't a big problem. The problem is I couldn't read this, right? So what I did then is I've been tweaking. Since then, I switched over to Llama.cpp, and I tweaked it so that this is the type of things go away. Another thing I noticed was that I wanted to have a conversation. So a conversation could be like, oh, that's wrong. That's not the mayor of Toronto, right? So then right now, the way this was set up is it would think that's a new request. it would not understand, right? So what I'll show you today is that I tweaked this so that you can continue the conversation by tokens. Now, those type of stuff run in memory, so be sure that you have enough memory, or you're using a small model. Just be aware of that. I'll explain that when I show you the code. And obviously this was also a live stream, and this was the results. All right, so I'm gonna stay, I think I'll stay right here. Okay, now let me so I download these models I showed you guys yesterday. For example, this one here, this one is Llama.cpp. I got the highest GGUF. That's quantized 8.0. That was the highest one they have. It was small enough, so that's why I was able to use it. And this one, this is the one that you see. This one is 8.2 gigs of space. It's 10 billion parameters, and it's a Q6. So I already tested it with I think Llama, and it was actually very surprised with the answers. So that's going to be that's the one that's going to be tested for an upcoming tutorial. I haven't even started writing the tutorial yet, so I'm hoping to finish the tutorial tomorrow, and that should be in a few days there. And then this one, the Deep 6, this was the original one I got. You see, this is a very large model because it's 32 billion parameters, and it's a Q5 KS. So I explained all that stuff yesterday. What the quantization, the Q value mean, the K and M, S, and all. I explained all that stuff yesterday. So I also linked to a blog article I created. It's a very long blog article, and I explain all that stuff as well. So that's going to be your, if you ever forget that stuff, just watch yesterday's video. It was a nice stream. And I also, there was also a day stream. It was about the WAN 2.2T text to video model as well. So there is a so what I mean is that use that as a base to decide what model to download. So one good thing I do like about my particular web UI is I just put the models in one place. It could be any location, doesn't matter. And then you see here, there's no need to conversions or anything like that. That's a great thing about Llama. Not Llama, Llama.cpp. So here are our models. Now let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to start my color control. I'm going to go to the console here. All right. Yes. Okay, unfortunately I have to run it as excuse me, I have to run it as a with some root permissions. Well, that's fine. I don't mind doing this because when I'm gonna be around when I'm running AI stuff. So you don't need to worry about any of this stuff here because it runs in the web UI. When it finishes, it's already finished. So basically it's localhost 11987. Can zoom out just a little bit if you want to see that. See, it's called controller, cooler controller D. Now, if you're on Windows, you guys have so much stuff, so this is probably not a big deal for you. So you see all the sensors, the AMD GPUs, it found all of that, and the actual sensor is this one. It's NCT6687. If you're in Linux, all the information you read online will tell you that, oh yeah, it's in the kernel. It was merged with 6683. That is true. However, the problem is 6683. The naming convention is slightly different, so you will see all the sensors. I'm saying you will see all the fans and all that stuff, but you won't be able to control them because something is because they're misnamed. So the one you actually need is this one. So you have to compile it yourself. NCT6687. You have to compile yourself, which I did. Just all the instructions on GitHub. And you'll be fine. Or if your distro has it, fantastic. All right, so the other thing we need is I don't need this folder anymore. Oh, we might come back, so I'll stay here. You see ComfyUI. Oh, let me show you another weird thing here. So if I type tree, I think I just typed tree here. Okay, there's way too much stuff here. You see there's a lot of files. All this is because of ComfyUI. right? All of this is because of ComfyUI. You see this stuff? All because of ComfyUI. It takes up the most amount of space, even more than the Podman storage stuff. So if that stable diffusion CPP does work, I'll be able to get rid of the mass majority of the stuff in ComfyUI. I'll keep the models which are GGUF, and I'll just put them in here and save space. Right now, this is taking up, I think, 160 gigs, which is completely insane. So if I type df-h here, you can see mount the AI one. It's 220 gigs. And I said ComfyUI is taking up 160. Now, to be fair, that's not all ComfyUI because it's probably the models. But I said I don't need all those models, so I only have 7 gigs left. So I plan to, I should get rid of some of those models. We might do that today, I'm not sure. Get rid of the models that didn't work and just keep the ones that do work. But I don't want to do that yet because I said I want to test out Stable Diffusion CPP first. Okay, so let me go to my, what folder is that one? I think it's this one. Yes, it is. And we go to tutorial and generative AI. That's generative AI. And I'm not sure what model to run because we already did that yesterday. No, I'm gonna run this little guy again just to show you. So I'm gonna show you what both of them look like. And the good thing about this, Control C, or you close the terminal, boom, the server connection is closed. Much better. So I think it was tutorials 2. What's going on? Oh, wrong place. CD home tutorial and generative. Is it small g? Yeah, generative AI. And the one we want is Llama. Okay, so I'm gonna run this. I don't remember if this were. Let me check this one out first. I can't remember if this were Alma or Llama CPP. So I need to check this out. So let me open up the GNOME text editor. Just want to check this one out to see what it's running. Yeah, it's running Llama CPP. Okay, great. So I'll explain this further when I write the tutorial, but as you can see here, what I had to do, because I'm running, I said, an AMD GPU, it was detecting both GPUs, but it doesn't want to go, so it was crashing or it wasn't working because by default what Llama does is it likes to split things up. So what it will do is, for example, I said 2 GPUs. What it will do is it doesn't split them 50-50. It splits them 33, 32, 33. So it will go to the CPU, then the dedicated GPU, and then finally integrated GPU. So that was horrible because the dedicated GPU is able to handle everything, right? But it was still doing that. So what I had to do is I had to give it some environmental variables. I can put 0 here. So that means it only finds 1. And the only one it finds is obviously 0, which is the dedicated one. And then I also had to put Llama no mmap. And then as you can see here, what else is here? Then the model. So this is our model. This is a Q6. Well, Q6 no longer exists. So it's, yeah. So as you can see here, the settings as well. We're going to talk about this, and I'll show you how I fixed all these problems here. So this model, I believe it's, let's go back to models here. The model changed. I deleted the Q6. Instead, I used the Q8. So let's go back and change, update this one to Q8. It's 8.0. Oh, it's not even a K. It's just Q8 8.0, I think. Yeah, that's it. Q8.0. Yeah, that's the name. We're gonna port 8000. So basically, I'm using Python. I'm using the module. I'm importing it, Llama_cpp, and then basically what I'm doing is it's serving requests. and then I created an API endpoint /API/chat, and then it will just output whatever Llama outputs there as well. So it's very simple code there, as you can see, very simple code. So let's run this, and I'll show you what it actually looks like. Let me get this out of the way here. I'm chat, so all you have to type is the Python server .py there. Model not found. Oh, did I type it in wrong? Llama.27b chat dot q. Oh, it's underscore. I made a mistake there. It's underscore for 8. I should simply just have copied that instead. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's attempting to all the 999 layers, so that's the other trick. So this will force it to load everything onto the GPU instead of going to instead of like before when it was like splitting it up. You can see, if you can read here. I'll scroll. Let me zoom out a little bit so it's easier to read. So as you can see, it clearly found the GPU. There's no NVIDIA, there's no CUDA stuff here, so it's just Qualcomm. Make sure you have your drivers obviously installed. This is all open source, by the way, and I was able to fit everything, which obviously is, and you see how much memory it uses as well. So you can see here, it's only using the buffer size about 6 gigs, so there's still quite a lot, and it's using a little bit of memory, 120, 30 megs, nothing there at all. And you see the layers. This is very important. Before, the layers, it was splitting it, as I said, CPU, integrated graphics, and dedicated. So now I'm able to dump everything into, there's only 31 or 32 layers because the number is exactly at 0. So all of that is able to fit easily, as you can see, into the dedicated GPU. And that's what I want. And so I shouldn't have any more problems, because another thing I did for OBS is that for both the stream and the recording, it's all done on the integrated graphics. So that means that the GPU is the dedicated GPU is completely free. So I expect to get way better results without any problems. And you see here, it's done. So I just have to go to localhost 8000. We're going to do that. And so let me. Where is this here? Sheesh. Fully close this. All right. Things running in the background is always weird. Okay, so I need a web browser. I'm going to use a Chromium browser. I could use Firefox. It doesn't matter which one you use. Okay. First thing, I'm going to go to Cooler Control. Just localhost column 11987. That's a port number, and all I care about here is this is the dedicated GPU here, and this is the integrated one. I don't care about that one because it's using the stock cooler, so I know that's no problem. And I don't care about this Intel Wi-Fi card because it doesn't have a cooling, doesn't need one. I have 6 case fans, that should be more than enough. Here's the sensor I was talking about, NCT 6687. So, and now the one I want is the system fan too. That's where the front shroud is connected. So I've already tested this several times. So around 50%, that will be about 8,000 RPM. So by default, if we go back here, it's at 42 degrees. The reason for that is because it's cooler now. Usually it's around 47 degrees in summer, especially because we had a drought, but that's still fine. It's no harm there. So I'll pay attention to this. I know the GPU is working when this temperature starts going up, and it goes up very quickly. That's why I already set this up. I just click the apply button later. Okay, next I'll open up my just localhost 8000. That's the chat. It says Q6 here. That's actually not true. It's actually Q8. But that so just be aware of that. I should actually change. You know what? Let me go change that. I don't want to be making any mistakes. So I'm all getting confused. So let's go here, and because I deleted that one. So you see here. Let me actually copy the name of the model. Copy that. Oops. Should I search and replace? Okay. Need to refresh now. Yeah, that's the proper model. So I'm going to ask it a simple question. What license do you use? Okay, press enter. And here, I'm just going to start here. You see, the temperature is already going up. You see how quickly it was? The temperature is, and already, see, it's already at 8,500 RPM. And temperature was already jumping up. So when the temperature goes down, that's how I know that it already has an answer. Having a sip of water because sometimes my throat will get dry, especially in summer. So I know it's finished, but I'm gonna let it run for a while. And you can see, these are some of the not all the changes, but this is basically what we did yesterday, where you see Markdown is much easier to read, and I don't know why AI is like just giving emojis. It's such a childish, but yeah. So I don't think this is the answer I asked. I asked what license does it use, so I might have to ask the same question again, but that's fine. So so you see, it's very quick, and this is a more accurate mode, as I explained. The higher the queues, the more accurate mode, but they take up more space, RAM and disk space, and obviously your VRAM. So as you can see, it's formatted pretty nicely because it's using Markdown. And now you guys learn. So yeah. So there we go. That's what we did yesterday. There's also some syntax highlighting, but I couldn't get it to do what I wanted yesterday. Maybe I have to fix that in the future. But there we go. So obviously, I can ask it a different question, like what's the other question? What license were you released under? Okay, hit send. Now, one of the problems with this is that this particular one is that you see, you have to be, if you're more specific, it will give you the answer you want. But the problem is, it doesn't. You cannot conversate with it because it wipes out whatever a previous thing is here, right? So I'm more specific this time. I said, what license were you? What was my first question? What license do you use? Yeah, so it answered the question. So I'm not going to give that a wrong answer because that's actually not bad. But this is what I meant, is what license were you released under. So it tells me it's released under the Apache 2.2 license. This means you're free to use me for any purpose, including personal or commercial projects, without having to pay any license fees. I don't think this is accurate. I believe it's released under, actually no, I think I wonder if the question is right. I think it's under what license are the Llama models released? I think that answer is actually wrong. It gave me, I think, the correct answer yesterday. If I remember correctly. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess Meta must have made a change, because I thought they were released under the. I thought they were released under the Meta license. Oh, that's interesting. So what is this guy, Llama? Where's Llama? Here. Llama here. It's non-commercial research. Yes, as I was saying, I think these answers are wrong because it keeps on saying that. I don't think that's true. Yeah, source available. Oh, that's for Llama 4. Maybe that's Llama 4. So maybe it depends on which one. initial release. I think Llama 2 in partnership with Microsoft announced Llama 2 next version released. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's open source. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It's not open source. So that answer is actually wrong because may be used for many commercial uses. However, many Llama license enforce and accept. Yeah, so that's what I was trying to say. Is that it's actually released under the, I think, Meta license, which enforces acceptable use. So that's not open source. Although I can use it commercially, the acceptable use, obviously that most likely means not safe for work stuff. Okay, you see the temperature is down here. I'm going to stop this for a while because it's going to drive me. Yeah, I don't want to be yelling. I will be yelling throughout this live stream. All right, so that's what I did. Sorry, that was basically when I switched over from Alma to Llama.cpp. So the good thing about Llama.cpp is, I forgot to open up the task manager or system monitor, so you can see even right now it's using very little RAM. It's not even using a swap space and very low disk space. So I'm going to, all you have to type is Control-C or just close the terminal there. And I forgot to show you guys the command line here. So as you can see how many tokens it used, how many runs, how many milliseconds, and all that. This was for the first question and this was for the second question. So you guys can you can decide there. See the /API /chat endpoint. So just press Control-C, it served the server. And you see here it released it. How much RAM? We started 9.2, it's 8.4. So it released everything, and very little RAM, because everything's run in C++. Very, 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 very nice. If I was using some of the other applications, they're all based on Python. It uses a lot of memory. Obviously, I'm not going to badmouth it because that's how I did learn. And the funny thing is, I got a more powerful system, and then I found a more efficient way to run AI. I find that actually pretty funny. All right, so when we go here, you see I create some tests. Now this test here is the one where I've added some things, and I think I'm pretty happy with where everything is. I said I'll explain more when I create a dedicated article for it, but I'm pretty happy with the way that is. Maybe I might tweak some styling stuff, but I'm pretty happy with it. So let me close this down. And I'll put this here so you guys can see what's going on. I think that's probably good right there. All right, so both of the style, I don't remember if the style sheet changed. It might have, can't remember. Okay, so here we go. We'll start with the Python, of course. You guys might say, wait, everything looks exactly the same. Yes, the top part is exactly the same. Everything is the same. Here's where I started doing some tweaks. So I really explained the offload here. So here, let me zoom in. Come on. Why can I zoom in? What in the world? Something weird going on here. Okay, I can zoom in this one. Are you kidding me? Okay, I can't zoom in for some reason. I'm holding out the control key. I clicked here. Okay, let me. Here I didn't even click and it's zooming. Okay, so let's say I click here. Yeah, even when I click, I say I double click this guy, I can still zoom. This guy I can't zoom for some reason. It's just going up and down. Why? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Okay, whatever. Okay, I can't. That is. Can I click here? Will that work? Nope. Okay, I selected that. Nope. Wow, okay. Control Shift maybe. Okay, that does nothing. Okay, whatever. That is odd. Okay, so the n underscore GPU underscore layers. This tells Llama.cpp to have many layers put onto the GPU. So I said I'll explain that in the upcoming tutorial article. The main GPU, obviously, that's the one GPU. The number of this is the context window size. So if you remember the previous one, it was set to 512. So you can add a bigger number here as long as your GPU is able to handle it. So what this will do is it will basically how much of the conversation it keeps. It's going to use memory. So this will allow, they said this will allow for true conversation where, for example, if I say something like today, for example, when I ask it, what license, what do they call it? What license do you use? It gives me that answer, which is wrong. Then I say, no, what I mean is, what license were you released under? Then you say, oh yeah, I'm sorry because that answer I gave before is wrong. This is the right, so that's what I mean. So you need to increase it from 512 to something bigger. Now, I said if you're limited with RAM and limited with the GPU, you can play around with this number. So I found 8192. I was able to ask it a whole bunch of stuff and it didn't clip off. It was clipping until I tweaked this until I found something I liked. The batch size, this controls how many tokens are processed in parallel during inference. So I left it at 512. You guys remember this, no nmap. This is a Python API argument for no mmap is sometimes ignored. So we use the environmental variable above. Okay, and then we have here n underscore GQA set to 32. That sets the number of groups or the query attention of, that's obviously, this is specific to Llama 2.7b, meaning that if I use a different one, I will have to change it. And then verbose, we just want a good login to see what's going on. This is very important, especially I say when you're testing to try to see what is going on the command line. Okay, so those are the changes. Those are the first changes I made. The other change I made was this one here for Markdown. You see I put here your helpful and detailed assistant. Format your entire response using Markdown syntax, including headings, bold text, and bullet points where appropriate. Okay, so I think the reason syntax highlighting is not working is because I should probably add something here telling you that if it's code, separate it so that way the the syntax highlighter will pick up the code easier. But I couldn't find any examples so far. So if you guys know, let me know. I would love to change that as well. And here is our chat prompt. If you remember, if I actually go down where I stopped this, it should. Or did I fix it? Oh yeah, here. Here's another problem. You see right here. It says runtime warning. Detected duplicate leading. You see this for the string in prompt. This will likely reduce the response quality. Consider removing it. So the reason that was there, that was because that's needed for, I think, for Llama. But I said I'm no longer using Llama, so I said I just copied the code over, just tweaked it. So that is one of the things that was removed. So I did remove it as well. So that's another improvement. You see here, it's not here at all. It's completely removed. There's no. I'm using the F strings here, but yeah, it's not there anymore. Okay. And then obviously the chat prompt, the maximum tokens. Oh, just a second. All right. Ed speaking. Hey, Mark, what's up? Not yet. I'm still in this. I still need about 20 minutes more. I'll call. Do you want me to call? I can call you when I'm done. Are you sure? Okay. Okay, no problem. Probably 10:30. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Bye. That was a customer. Talk to him tomorrow morning. All right. So where am I here? Where am I here? Oh, tokens. Yeah, tokens. So I wish I could zoom in here. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's being a pain. Whatever. Okay, so 512 and 8192, and then minus. Obviously, we don't need the entire one, so it'll be minus whatever the length of the chat prompt is. And then the temperature 0.7. You could fool around with this as well. We remember yesterday when we were downloading the images from Hugging Face, they did suggest the temperature to you sometimes. Yeah, so you can use that temperature as well. I believe if you go too high, the quality the quality is not as good. So just pay attention to what they suggest. And then to stop, the system stop. They said stop generating based on Llama 2 format. Now echo false. Don't echo the input prompt in the response. And then this is our response text. And remember I told you I'm going to keep the conversation history, so that's why you see we keep it here so that the AI knows what's going on here, and then you can that's a simple. You guys know a better option, let me know. And then this is our chat handler as before. We have our AI point. You see it says /API/chat. This is the same as before. Nothing changes here. I'm not even going to bother going through that. Then we have another one, you see, the reset. So reset because I don't want it to keep the chat, I don't want it to keep the conversation forever, because sometimes it might give me, for example, if I ask who's the mayor of Toronto, it gives me the answer. I don't want it to then, keep that information. That makes no sense. I want to go on to the next. You guys always see, like I ask you who's the mayor of Toronto, then I ask it for the 1080p, what do you call it, 1080p screenshot of the GNOME desktop. So in that case, I can just hit reset. So reset is different. You see global conversation history. Then you see conversation history. We just empty it, and then just say response conversation history reset. You can start a new conversation. That's it. Everything else stays exactly the same as before. Where our index.html and obviously starting up the server. That's it. Very simple code. So we can run this. I'm going to run this model, but I'm more curious to run the bigger model, the 32 gig model, because that's what the tutorial is all about. But I'll run this as well, so just so you guys see the differences. So where am I here? Why is this open? Yeah, I didn't realize I had so much stuff open. Okay, so where am I here? In the wrong folder. Okay, I think this one is in tests. Oops, tests. Yeah, tests. Yeah, so run the Python server. This one is different, so run that one as well. If you want to pay attention, it should be the same thing. I'm saying all I did was just make a few modifications, but everything's the same. So you can check this out. Take a little drink of water while that's running. So in what? Not even a second, it's ready. You see how fast Llama.cpp is? So if you want to read this stuff all over again, you can see. Now this model I said only has 32 layers. The reason you see 31 here is because it starts at 0, but that's computer stuff. And you can see again, that model is not too bad. Now you should actually watch yesterday's tutorial, because I tested that model and getting it to do some stuff which I was blown away. For example, I asked it to summarize a video. Now I gave it a link to a YouTube video. Unfortunately, there were, I think, were ads playing. So what I did was I then, because I know Odyssey doesn't have ads, so I told it to go to Odyssey and the video, and it summarized it very well. There's even some stuff I forgot. It did a really, really, really good job. So, all right. So, but I want to see if DeepSeek, if DeepSeek is not as good, I can delete it. Okay, so let's back to the web browser here. So all I need to do here is just do a refresh. Okay, now I'm gonna ask it. What is that question? What license do you use? What license do you use? Okay, with that. You see the temperature there. I'm sure you guys are laughing at me here. You see the temperature has already gone up. So when the temperature, this is the dedicated GPU. When the temperature starts going down, then I'll know that it has finished its thinking. And okay, so this is fine. Yeah, the temperature is going down. So this will give me the answer. So it says, I'm glad you asked. License as a responsible, I'm an open source and available under the Common what is it, the Creative Commons license. This means you're free to use, modify, include. That is not true. You see, it's giving different answers. Now that's because I gave it more tokens to think about. This is clearly not true because it's a Llama. So that's clearly not true, but it kind of seems true. So I'll ask the other question I asked is, what license were you released under? Okay. All right. So there we go. That's a little bit better. Give me credit as the original reader, other by including Sherlock. Okay, looks, the answer seems to be worse than. Okay. So I'm saying we can have a conversation. Are you not released? Not released under. Oops. Oh, did I refresh? Because I don't see the reset button. I think I did not reset. Are you not released under the Meta license? Okay, I spelled that wrong. Where is my reset button? Ah, there we go. However, I'm also released under the Meta license, which is a custom license developed by Meta AP. It's license familiar, but with some additional terms and conditions. Here are the keys. Attribution, share like no derivative works. Commercial use may use. So you can use this license, but there's a ULA you may use for commercials, but you must give me credit. Okay, so there you go. So you can use this one. Okay, so okay, so you see, give different answers depending on when you tweak that stuff as well. So let's say just be aware of that, and obviously be sure to check because I know this Llama is released under the Meta license. That's how I knew it's not open source, despite what Facebook or Meta says. All right, so I don't know what happened here because it doesn't show my reset button. Let me check the code. Maybe I used the wrong code here. I should be in the right place. Oh, unless I put the code somewhere else. That's also possible. Okay, this is the old one. This one is in tests. Let's go check the index file. So I'm pretty sure it should be there. There should be a reset button. Yeah, so there's a, is this the reset? Chat history has been reset. The code is there. Where is the reset button? Chat box. Get image. Chat reset. Yeah, reset chat. It is. Yeah, reset chat. It's right there. Oh, it's in tests. Is that where I am? Okay, let me refresh this. Maybe hard refresh. Oh, there we go. I had to do a hard refresh. Okay, so the reset button is here. I had to do a hard, it was cached. That was annoying. So the reset is here. So I'll ask you. So let's say, how are you today? Don't worry, we're almost done. How are you today? I don't know, it's taking forever. It's just a simple, should be done. Yeah, it's done. Okay, I'm glad you're interested in the license. So because I didn't hit reset, so it's still keeping the old chat request. So I'm gonna reset this. That was a horrible answer. Let's ask it again. How are you today? Oh, unless my reset doesn't work. Is that the thing? You can see the memory usage here. Glad to hear from you. I'm just an AI. I don't have things. There we go. So the reset does work. I just had to do a hard refresh to get it to work properly. So yeah, it was cached. Okay, so before we end up here, I want to, let me put this back to 2%. Okay, I can't go to 0% or 1%. It kind of hits up a little bit, so 2%, usually 1.5% should work. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to see if that DeepSeek model is worth keeping. This one gave me some pretty good answers. I said you should check out yesterday's last night's video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to DeepSeek here. Is that it? Oh, DeepSeek is here. I think these are all old. Oh, Llama. I did create one for Llama. Let me check this one. I'll make sure it's not too old as well, because I might have to copy some of that code over. Let me check this one. We're looking for a reset button. Yeah, I don't see a reset button. Is this? Yeah, this is the old one. So what I'll do is I'll copy some of that code over so that we can, yeah, we can copy that code over. So we'll go here. Oh, is it open? Oh, it is open. Perfect. So I'll go here, paste it here. Okay, and then what was the name of that model? DeepSeek. Copy that. Pretty sure there's another. Is there a place where it says it's thinking? Yeah, here it is. Replace all. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, then the other thing I need is the server. I think I might have to change the style. I can't remember. The server here. Copy this. Paste it here. Go over to the top. Where's our model? Oh, don't want to do that. Our model again. Copy. Okay, there we go. So I want to keep this model because it's small and you guys saw how quickly it worked. So I'm going to check the DeepSeek to see if there's any clipping. So I might have to tweak. Oops. What happened here? That's not right. Okay, I think I have to undo. Undo again. There we go. So let's try that again. Copy. Good, okay, so that should be fine. Alright, so let's run this. Oh, didn't realize I was still running the other one. Okay, so just Control-C to stop the server. I don't want to run this server, so I'm going to get out of that folder. And I'll run DeepSeek. And then Llama, I think, yeah, Llama.cpp. There we go. Now I just type Python server.py. And let's check out what's going to happen here. So this model is much bigger. Remember, it's 32B. I don't know how many layers. Oh, see, this one has way more layers. It has 64 layers. Oh, tensors. Yeah. So this one should also fit into the GPU. Hopefully, we can see how much memory and everything here. If anything's wrong. And cannot be used a deferred buffer, so it's going to use CPU instead. That's fine. We'll check. So that's a problem. If you guys don't understand, is although I have 32 gigs of RAM, I don't really have 32 gigs of usable memory. The reason for that is because the integrated graphic takes 4 gigs of that, reserves it. So I'm down to 28 gigs. And then of that, about I think 4 or 8 is used by ZRAM, and then of the rest, obviously, I'm running like OBS. I'm running some web browsers open here. I'm running the multi-stream. So it okay. So it looks like it loaded. Unfortunately, it used CPU instead, so that's going to slow it down a little bit. Most likely. That should be okay, and we're good to go. So it's a little bit slower. That's understandable, but it's still loaded way faster than the way. And look how much. So you see the memory usage is. I don't know why it used the swap. That's weird, but there we go. So I'm guessing it loaded a lot of that into memory first, but it's good to go. So let's go try it. I am going to refresh the page in a second, but I'm going to prepare here. 50. Okay, go here. Obviously, do a refresh. Yeah, it got the right model. So I'm going to ask it something like, what license do you use? Okay, while that's going, I'm going to. You can see the CPU jumped just like that as well. And then DeepSeek created currency details about the products. Okay, that's fine. Again, I'll ask it what license were you released under? So you see, this is a Q5. So question mark there. Hit send. It's 32B, so it has more information. It's DeepSeek is a model owned by a Chinese company. The specific license you can company. Okay, so it is open source. In case you're wondering, I did check it out. It is an open source one, so you're allowed to. Oops, what happened there? Oh, that's weird. Okay, so you see, it's. I'm gonna reset the chat because I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk that way. So reset the chat, and I don't think I did this before. Oh yeah, I did, but that was the default setting. So let's compare. I'm gonna ask it who the mayor of Toronto is. Well, I'll show you the command line as well. So the mayor of Toronto says John Tory. You see, it's more elaborate. That is it's formatted properly, but it's not John Tory. That's wrong. So I'm going to reset the chat here. Chat has been reset. I'm going to ask it for some PHP code to connect to a MySQL database. This one it should get, because all of them, since I made those changes, have obviously I should probably tweak. I need to do some tweaks, because this one is a 32B model. So I said maybe fool around with the temperature, things like that. Maybe we can go down to a Q4 model. Okay, I don't know why it's taking so long. That shouldn't be a problem. Well, you see the temperature there, 71, so it's still thinking. When it's like that, that means it can easily jump to 100. So just have to be. That's why I said I put RPM. Obviously, I could probably go 45 or whatever, but I don't want to get close. So I just picked a number, and this number seems to be working for me. So I don't know why is this still doing. So let's go check the command line. It's still working. You can go check the command line, see what's going on. You can see the request and how long they take, how many tokens, and I think this is done. It should be done, right? Yeah, the temperature is going down. So it provided the answer here. As I said, you see this how it puts the answer. So maybe what I should do is I should tell it to split, not put the text there, so that the syntax highlighter can detect it. But the answer seems to be, let's see here. Yeah, it explains. Yeah, the syntax is correct. MySQL connect host. Yeah, that's correct. This is correct. Yep, that's correct. And then it explains everything. That's what it likes to do. So I'm going to reset that one. I'm going to request a 1080p screenshot of the GNOME desktop environment. Okay. This is why I like the smaller models, because for my particular use cases, I don't need the bigger. Bigger doesn't always mean better, because it has so much information, it's going to be slower, especially when you get into something bigger than a Q4. I'm more interested in accuracy. What I noticed is the smaller models, they are more efficient at. Obviously, they have less. They are less parameters. So there are a couple ways I said I personally can check. I can check the temperature here. When the temperature is still high, I know it's still nothing's done. Or you can go and wait on the command line. That's another option. So it's not ready yet, because see the temperature is still going up a little bit. You can check the command line, and you see it's still low, it's still generating. Now it's finished, and it should tell you how much time it has taken. It's in milliseconds. So that one took way too long. Okay, so wow, that's like, oh, you see, there's no more clipping. That's the theme of this tutorial. You see, I fixed the clipping issue, and I showed you how to. So it shows you how to searching online for existing. Oh, that's very good. search online for existing screenshots. That's a pretty good answer. Take a install GNOME. Oh, that's also a good answer. Okay, check tutorials and guides. Consider legal and legal. Ensure any screen. Yeah. So clearly, yeah, it doesn't. It looks like it doesn't understand open source because yeah, this number 4 is kind of weird, but I guess people who use like proprietary systems have to be and create a mockup if necessary. Okay, I do like the fact that it actually used open source stuff, especially again Canva is clearly not, but there we go. All right, the other one I want to I'm going to request is Kotlin code. So I'm going to reset this chat because I don't want to keep that one in memory. And if you look here at my memory usage, so if you're on if you happen to be on a mobile vertical device, you can see here use very low memory. I don't know why it likes using swap, but you see it uses very low memory here. This is just cached, and you can see the CPU usage. It's basically just using 1 or 2 CPUs, and that might also be because of OBS. So this is working extremely well. I'm very happy with it. The memory, there we go. I'll put this down here so until the answer comes. So as you can see, very low resource usage. Now of course most of the stuff is the grunt work is done by the GPU, but I like this model because it proves to you guys that the CPU is also important in this case. Now this model, if I had more RAM, it would have sent the stuff to the GPU much faster, or if I had maybe 2 GPUs, that would also work much faster. But so if you notice the answers this guy is giving us, as opposed to the previous one, the Llama 2.7, there's not too much of the accuracy and everything. I guess it's subjective. This one is taking way too long for that answer. Oh, the temperature is still way too high. This answer is the one that was clipping off the most, so I'm curious to see what this one is going to give us. Let me take a little sip of water. I got water spots. It's weird. The funny thing about this is that the reason it's taking so long is because it's explaining what it's doing. So clearly, I should probably go read and find a better prompt. Tell it, hey, don't just give one quick summary. You don't have to explain everything, because when I'm asking for code, most likely I know what I'm doing. But I guess that's the way it was trained. Okay, it's going down, so I'm guessing the answer is here. And there we go. Perfect. It didn't clip anything off. This one's a pretty long one. All the code is here. Now, I can tell you that should we try this code? User permissions camera. Okay, that's good. If you're targeting Android 9 permission, okay, that's good as well. The texture view, okay, that's good. Set up camera variables in your activity or fragment. I don't like using fragments, but okay, it's fine. And open the camera, find camera, blah 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 blah. Okay, that seems good. This is actually very good. They must have taken this code from somewhere. Okay, then private, that also looks pretty good. I'm actually curious. I should actually try this code. Then the handle session. If you haven't already implemented the surface, yeah. So this is the old way of doing stuff. However, this looks pretty good as well. And then run the code, and it says full code example. Oh, I missed that part. So this is not true. That's not gonna work. And you know how I know? Because I there's some stuff here missing, and some stuff looks like it's really old, no longer needed. However, I like the fact that it uses the toast app compatibility and the Java stuff. This looks really make sure to handle exception and errors appropriately. So clearly that it didn't give that up. Give me additional features like for I don't need that. And this is actually very good code. It looks good. You know what? Let me compare this code. Let's compare that code here. I'll just type Kotlin. What did I say? Preview. Camera API. Isn't that funny that... What? Oh, because I asked for Kotlin. Okay. Wow. Isn't that weird that DeepSeek came up as well? That is super weird. Okay, let's go here. So camera, open camera. Alright, so let's see the permissions. That's why this code is probably not going to work. This is the permission thing. Let's see here. So the camera preview. Oh, here's the preview part. Surface texture. I wonder if copied my code. I got my code basically converting Java to Kotlin. That's how I created mine. Session callback. State back, is it? Session callback. This code looks pretty good, except that I know it's not going to work because it's missing some stuff. Yeah, it's missing some stuff, but that's actually not bad code. I'm pretty sure it copied this code from somewhere. Yeah, that doesn't, because you notice it didn't explain as much, so that is weird. Alright, what's the last one? Last one is the Blender Python fire animation. Let's try that one. So if we look at the results here, with the mayor of Toronto, what's going on? Produce inaccurate results. So the same thing as today. And then what else is here? Produce correct syntax. That was correct. 1080p screenshot instructions. That's actually correct. And then the Kotlin code. I didn't test the code. Because in the past the OR is wrong, so I'm going to assume that, and I could tell it's not going to work as well. Accurately detected inability to generate. Let's see if it gets this one is better. So I wasn't sure when I first ran this type of models in Alpaca. I wasn't sure what version of well, even Alma. When you're running Alma, it doesn't say where it's getting the model from, or what the no parameters, but the quantization is. Is it down here? Oh, what happened here? Oh, please provide a Blender Python API for Fire. I'm confused. Did I do something wrong here? Huh? Why did it type my answer? That's weird. Huh? I never did this. Oh, I did. What the? Okay, I'm really confused about that. Oh, I remember. Okay, I must have. Did I paste twice? I must have pasted twice. Okay. Okay, you need blah 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 blah. This is wrong. This might have worked in the past, but this is wait. Blender, add a ground plane, and enable physics, configure smoke settings, adjust the color ramp. Yeah, yeah, skipping a few steps here. This is not gonna work. Okay. I'm gonna ask it a question here, so let's reset the chat. I'm gonna ask it if it can, are you able to summarize a video for me? That should be a simple yes or no. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I shouldn't even need the fun for. Sure, I can help summarize. Please provide me with the necessary details such as the video's title, brief description, or any key points you have. Sure, I can help you. Okay, so I'm gonna pick a video, just like yesterday. I'm gonna pick one from Odyssey here. I'll go to my Odyssey channel. Oops. What is going on here? With uploads. We summarize the one we did. Okay, the one from today, earlier today. So I'm going to copy that link. Here is a link to the video. Oh, look at this little animation. I think I prefer when it says thinking instead. Okay, see, this is what I was talking about, conversations. Right? See, it says sure. Then I paste it in here, and then it's basically looking at the video which I did earlier today. I was really impressed with Llama 2.7 was able to actually go to the video. I don't know how it did it and summarize it. It wasn't from the description because I checked. It even gave some information which I completely forgot when I was actually I was chatting with somebody in the live chat. That was really impressive because the live chat was on YouTube, but the obviously because I'm multi-streaming, he was able to get that. That wasn't in the description. I was really impressed. So why is it taking so long? No. Oh, it's done. Okay. Only been using the GPU. What's going on? See, the GPU is not being used at all. Yeah, the GPU is not being used. Let's see what's going on down here. It says it's done. So nothing? Yeah, it looks like nothing. It didn't. It looks like it's not able to do that. So I am not impressed with this model. It writes a lot, but yeah, honestly, I think I can get rid of this model. This is a simple test that it's not because it fails this particular test, but I'm saying it's not impressive. Yeah, it's not doing anything, so I might as well just stop it. Yeah, it's not using the GPU at all, so okay, I'll just give it a few more minutes. Okay, I'm done. I'm just gonna hit reset. Wow, okay, that okay. So here, let's do something proper. I'll give it 1 minute. I'll give it exactly. Should I put a timer here? But here, I'll give it 1 minute. I'll use a stopwatch just to be fair. I don't think it's doing anything. Is there an error message? No. Just inspect, see what's going on. No, nothing in the console. Full formats file not found. Why doesn't it tell me file not found then? Right? Okay, so 15 seconds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. There we go. So reset the chat. When you reset the chat, you can check the command line here. You see it's been reset, meaning that whatever is happening is stopped. So I want to go here because, oops, not that one. We go here, go back to 2. Pause this, clear, we don't need this, we don't need you anymore. Alright, so this was a nice test. So I can get rid of this huge model and pick up a little bit of space, which I could actually use, so that's great news. This model, DeepSeek R1, is supposed to be able to do some other things. Oh, I should have asked this. We can also, no, that's fine. I will, yeah, so I'll probably keep the Llama one, the Q8 one for a while, because I was really impressed when it was able to, oh, I should also probably style this a little bit better, but it's fine for now. So there you go. So to summarize, today we fixed the clipping, so the text is able to all come here despite the model. Now you could tweak the model as you want, but I'm okay with everything the way it is. Put everything on the GPU. This model is a little bit too big. So my particular use case, I think I'll stop. I won't go anything bigger than, because I don't like waiting. So I think I'll stick to something that's maybe 24, 25 billion parameters. I think that's a good, or even less. For my particular use case, that works fine. I want the text generated quickly, and the feature I found out yesterday for the Llama 2.7 was really impressive. The fact that it can go online and summarize videos, that's really amazing. So that reason alone is going to keep it. So I'm going to, what else? The other things we'll talk about. Oh, so the other thing I want to show you guys is that as you guys know, I'm using Llama.cpp. There's also a version for image generation. Obviously that may be also video generation, but for image generation, there's something called stable-diffusion.cpp as well. So I'll show you the website. There's 2 of them. There's also a Python version. So let's start with the Python one. I should really go. I should have gone the other way, but I'll show you. So we'll go here. So on GitHub, it's by William Murray, 1204. You see, it's stable diffusion CPP. This is the Python. What do you call it? The Python binding. We'll go here, the library by Leadjet. Okay, as you can see here, you need the requirements are Python 3.8. Obviously, in the C compiler, I'm on Linux. Obviously, I already have GCC or C-Line, no problem. If you're on Windows, you need Visual Studio or Main W. If you're on Mac OS, you need Xcode. And you see, just installed using pip install stable-diffusion-cpp-python. This will build the stable diffusion CPP from source and install it alongside this Python package. So if that fails, add the verbose. So I haven't tried this yet. I don't know how long it takes as well. So I'll probably do this and the supported backends. So here, let's look at the requirements. You first, yeah. So I guess you decide CUDA on. Obviously, I don't have CUDA, so is that what I changed? Change the arguments. Yeah. So obviously, I can't use CUDA, so mine will be CUDA off. I wonder if that will be slower. I'll probably read the instructions. So as supported backends, obviously I have Rocom here, and if command blah blah blah. So Rocom clearly. Oh, okay. So that's the one I run. Then it will in the CMake. It will replace, I guess, the CUDA stuff with the Rocom stuff. Okay. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. So there we go. So I would run this instead of that one. That's fine by me. I could probably also run OpenCL is only for the Arduino's GPU. I believe that was supposed Arduino GPU optimized for the Q4 type. If you guys want to know about that as well. So there we go. And then there's OpenBLAS. There's SysL. I don't know what that one now is. Oh, it's Intel. And Volco, that one I know. And Metal, I know that's for Mac, for Silicon. And obviously if you're on CUDA, use that one. And then enabling fast attention for the division reduces the memory usage varying amounts. So there we go. Look at that, right? So I'm curious to play around with this as well. And then obviously with Python, you see it's very similar to the one I've done today. This is very similar. You see the prompt, the width, height, progress, very similar stuff. So, and then you can also use LoRa if you want. And here are the examples, and then Flux, image generation, etc. So I think there's a place here where red word says, yeah, here, this is the part here. If you're using LoRa Flux. It says, note that it's recommended to use LoRa's with the naming formats compatible with ComfyUI. LoRa's will only work with Flux -dev Q8 _0. So that's probably fine by me. And then you can use context, which is another Flux one. See Chroma SD standard diffusion. Stable diffusion 3.5 image generation. You can download the weights. So I probably have already some of this stuff. That's why I said I'm not ready to wipe out my ComfyUI folder stuff yet. So there we go. I can probably put everything to the models folder and try this as well. So the naming convention is fine. As I said, thanks to one of my viewers helped me with the ComfyUI stuff. And obviously ComfyUI is also pretty simple. You can see what's going on there. So I should be able to take care of all this. You can also use PhotoMaker to personalize images with your own. Is it PhotoMaker? What is PhotoMaker? I didn't read that part. PhotoMaker is customizing realistic human photos via stacked ID embedding. Okay. Okay, all right. Again, another Python, Conda, and etc. So there we go. So so this is something I want to try as well. So if I have time this week, I'd love to start fooling around with this. So because I'm going to have space now that I'm removing this 32-bit model, I can fool around with this. If you guys have tried this, let me know. I'm curious to. I'll be curious to try it out. So then the library itself is there's actually more Quen image, and then the WAN video generators. This is what I'm saying. I already have this stuff. They're already as GGUF, so that's why I said before I want to completely wipe out my. So we can also do video generations. I already have this as well, so I'm curious to see how fast this will be. You can even go more low-level stuff, which is fine by me. Fine by me. So let's go to the stable-diffusion.cpp. Here we go. As you can see here, stable-diffusion.cpp, and now supports QEM image, and WEM 2.1. Oh, and WEM 2.2. Ooh, that is interesting. You see, it's plain C, C++ implementation based on GGML, working in the same way as Llama.cpp. Super lightweight without external dependencies. So all those are all the models. Now some of you might have and say, oh, who cares? But as I said, I'm okay with that. Also, there's ControlNet with what is the standard deviation? Stable Diffusion 1.5. And as you can see here, the supported backend, the CPU. Obviously, this is supported by my CPU, even though it's an AMD. I don't have CUDA, but I do have ROCOM. Or I can also do OpenCL or Vulkan. And what else is here? You see, GGUF. Ta-da! Okay, and obviously Linux, Mac OS, Windows, and Android via Termux, and Ulula, all this stuff as well. So I am very curious to try this out. And you see the bindings here: Golang, what is it? C#, Python, Rust, and Flutter, Dart. Okay, so obviously I'm going to use Python, right? And just because it's just easier to, I don't think there will be a performance penalty at all. I mean, if there is, it's probably going to be minuscule. But there we go. And these projects use stable-diffusion.cpp as a backend for the image generation. I didn't know that. Oh, there's a GUI. Maybe I should do Jellybox. There's Jellybox. I think this is not open source. Am I correct? If I remember correctly, I don't think this was open source. Or is it? Yeah, see, they have an end user agreement, so this is clearly not open source. I didn't even realize there was a GUI for it. There's a command line GUI and then an actual GUI. Let's see if that GUI is. This is a preview versions and may contain bugs. If you encounter issues, I should try one of these. This and then MIT license. You know what? You know what? Let's do another one tomorrow, and we'll try it out using one of these applications. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do tomorrow. We can fool around with some of this. Let's see if we get it going, and if it is, oh, there's even a web UI here. Obviously, I said I'll just use Python and create my own, but yeah. So there you go. Nice, very nice. The reason I found this application was I was so impressed with Llama.cpp, and I was like, hey, is there a version for that using for video or image generation? And I found this, so I'm extremely happy. There's even Docker files as well. I think this is just for building. So there we go. So if you guys have used this, let me know. I'm very curious because I'm eager to try it myself. So that's that could possibly be much faster way of, may not be as user friendly, of course, as ComfyUI, but that could be an option as well. So then you don't need all those massive libraries taking up so much space. As I said, it's taking 160 gigs of space. This little libraries, I doubt it will take up that much space. All right. The other thing, as I was saying before, is if we go to jambo.com, this is the live stream I did earlier today. Unfortunately, it was unlisted on YouTube, but here it is. And as I repeatedly said, that this is probably going to be the last Git, any Git related stuff in a while. The reason for that, as I said, is because I've run out of beginner friendly stuff, content. for Git. So I did try in the past to make it a little bit more advanced, but that failed spectacularly. So yeah, maybe I'll take a break for a while. And the good thing is, I said there's a lot of AI stuff, so maybe AI stuff can replace that one. There's also some self-hosted things, so maybe that will go there instead. And if you notice, for probably the past 2 months or so, most of the Git stuff I've been doing has been self-hosted, like the Git servers. So I think this one will be maybe a combination of self-hosted and AI-related stuff. And we can test out way more models. And I also want to get back into training. My shed is almost done. Today I was actually able to go out. It stopped raining. This is kind of funny because it for the past 3 days, it rained 3 days in a row, where the last time it rained, I think, was like April like 12th or something. So there hasn't been any rain. There have been a few drizzles here and there, but nothing. So it actually surprised to see rain for 3 days in a row. Puddles and some ponds again. So that was nice. But I like to. I'm just finishing up. If you guys remember or you recall, I bought a metal building last year because it was so windy. I didn't have time to put up an A-frame. So that metal building, surprisingly, it lasted all through the rest of fall, obviously winter, and then even spring. And then when summer came, some strong winds just twisted it, and I just took it. I didn't have to take it down; just twisted it in so many ways. So instead of throwing it out, I said, "Hey, I can use that as." So that's what I'm using as the covering when I run out of vinyl. That's it. It's hard. It's a little hard to cut because I think it's made from aluminum. So I'm using my circular saw to cut it. Yeah, so it's going a little bit slow, but it works. It's nice and fast because it's very thin. I think aluminum. So that works very well. Yeah, I'm hoping to finish because I want to put up the door. I already put up the door. I just need to do a few more cuts, and that's the hardest part because I have to measure, and yeah, I have to because the way the metal building is, it was kind of bent, so then I have to bend it, and not just from the wind. I'm just saying that was the design, so I have to like straighten it up a little bit, and then screw. The good thing is the wood screws go through it, so that's great for me. All right. Anything else? I think that's all I wanted to do today. This for this night stream, and so that's the end. No more DeepSeek stuff for a while, and I'm hoping you guys will join me for when the live stream for the that model, the writer model, comes up, because I want to give some really accurate results, just the way it is. Okay, so let's finish this up. If you want to level up your Python skills, this simple web integration is just the beginning of what you can do with Python with powerful local LLMs. LLM stands for large language models. So I have a book where you dip in your Python knowledge with my book, which is called Learning Python. It's available on Amazon. The links are in the description. I also have a course. It's structured learning and hands-on practice. It's called Learning Python. Is available on ojamboshop.com. It's an online course. Everything you need is there. It has a web ID and lots of examples. And the web ID is also available on every single part of the course that has samples for you to try out. Last year I did a bunch of tutorials using it for JavaScript, Python. Surprisingly, I couldn't find any I did for PHP, so I'm guessing I didn't do any for PHP, but there's a PHP course as well there. And if you need professional AI and Python services, you need expert help setting up this powerful technology or mastering coding skills, I offer one-on-one tutorials. I offer dedicated one-on-one Python tutorials tailored to your learning pace and goals at ojambo.com/contact. And if you need LLM installation or migration, I can offer you my professional services. For example, if you want the DeepSeek R1 32B LLM, or if you need to migrate it to any machine or server management to enjoy smooth, optimal performance. I can also do some tests for you to see what type of system you need for your specific needs. Whether it's GPU, CPU, the connection, all that's very important. You can contact me for professional services at ojamboservices.com/contact. With that said, quick reminder, I do a live stream every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. You visit ojambo.com, you go to watch menu, live sub menu, you see topics for this and upcoming tutorials. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments, because as I said before, it helps the channel grow. It finds new users and we all help each other. All the information I have, I share, as you guys see, and some of you guys, my viewers, have helped me as well. Like I became very good at ComfyUI because one of my there's actually a live stream, one of my longest live streams, almost 4 hours. A user helped me, pick the models. Answered a whole bunch of questions I had for him. It was kind of funny. He should have been doing the tutorial. So yeah, those are obviously that's the reason I put this out, is for you guys to learn and improve. And also I have 3 resources, recommended resources. The first one is, I live in a rural area and I use SpaceX Starlink because the service here for internet and cellular services it doesn't exist. Let's just say it doesn't exist, or if I got anything close, it would be very sporadic. So I use the SpaceX Starlink. It's been fantastic residential service. That's my referral link. If you do use my referral link, I'll get 1 month free, and you will get discount. The discount length and duration is based on, the type of discount and its duration is based on your geographical location, but you definitely get a discount. So you can use that one. I use it not just for high-speed internet, but also my phone for Wi-Fi calling. So I'm able to receive, as you saw during the live stream, I talked to one of my clients. I'm able to receive voice calls, text messages, including multimedia messages. So it's been very, very good for me. And the other one is this little guy here. It's called the Honeywell HeatBud Personal Ceramic Heater. I have an affiliate link. So if you purchase this, I obviously part of your purchase will come to me. I got this is over a year. I'm working on it. I finished writing the article. I just need to film the video. I don't know if I should do a live stream with this little guy. That would be kind of awkward. But I'll probably just make a video for this little guy. So when I first moved here about 2.5 years ago, the winter was mild, and I spent $350 a month on propane. Crazy. Everybody told me, oh yeah, propane is better than anything else. That's not true. Propane is good as a backup system, but as your primary heating source for a house, it's not. It's terrible. I mean, unless you're in an area where propane is extremely cheap, but here it's very expensive. So for example, this past winter, I have this in the article, the electricity was 22 cents. That includes taxes and all of that stuff. Do you know how much propane was? Yeah, it was way over $1. So now you can talk about BTUs and all that stuff, but what I'm saying is that what people don't understand is the way propane works is propane down in the crawl space. It obviously takes some propane, heats up the furnace, and then it blows the hot air. The problem is heat rises. So when it comes here, it's not going to stay very long. It's going to continue rising. I want it to stay right here at this level, right? Now, the good thing about electric is that electric works the same way. Some of you guys might be a little bit too young. The way electric works is it heats something up, usually a piece of metal. So, for example, like if you have the old school stoves where you have the coil of ovens, I think ovens still work the same way. Is they have a piece of metal that heats up, and that's how it works. So what happens is when you switch off, right? They still heat, residual heat. The heat it's not instant, it doesn't go off. Propane does that. when the propane furnace goes off, you can immediately start feeling chill. But with the electric, you don't. So this little guy, because it's ceramic, it doesn't have to be ceramic, but what happens is when it blows the hot air, even when I switch it off, what happens is there's still some residual heat, and that's very good. That's more natural. And another thing is, this little guy is 250 watts. Now, before you make fun of it, I'll explain. There's also so that's a high speed 250. On low, I don't know if you can see that there, low. Yeah, there's 2 speed setting. On the low setting, it's 170 watts, so you even save more electricity. And this guy, I could probably run it. I don't need to run it the entire, whatever, how long I stay in here. I just run it when I need a little boost. So that usually what I do is I switch it on maybe for maybe a minute, and then I switch it off, and then maybe in 15 minutes I switch it on again. So what I'm saying is that it's not constantly on, is what I'm getting at. It has a trip thing here. If it trips, it goes off. So what I'm saying is that it's a nice little addition. For example, I just switched on my heater what's the day today? Just yesterday, November 1st. All of October, especially last week of October, the temperatures dropped so much. The house was actually 13.5 degrees. I still didn't switch on the heater. It was only on the first when I switched it on, and I said what kept me on is in this room I was using this little guy. So I'm gonna have a one year review on it, and I said I do have my affiliate link there. You can click on that if you get this. I said part of your purchase, I'll get that. That'll help me as well. And finally, also on Amazon, I have my novelette. It's called The Algorithmic Serpent. It's about a scientist who creates an AI system and loses his mind. So not only does he have to regain control of his mind, but also of the AI system. As you can see there, my name, Edward Ojambo. I'm not the scientist, but I'm the author. And this is the back. This is the paperback version, as you can see. And there's also an ebook version. The ebook version is available for free if you have Kindle Unlimited on Amazon. And also, I made this. I made both the ebook and the paperback version as affordable as possible. The reason for that is I like writing and I want to improve my writing skills. So you can pick it up and let me know. It's basically at cost, so I want to improve my writing skills. Alright, I think that's it. I'm going to end this. Let me check the live chat. So I'm going to go to checking Odyssey first. Okay, there's nothing in the live chat. Going to Rumble, nothing in the live chat. Going to BitChute, nothing in the live chat. Going to YouTube, nothing in the live chat. That's perfectly fine. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. And I said if I do have time, I will probably do yet another one at night stream where I will go through. I'm really curious to test out this stable-diffusion.cpp. Really curious. So I'll probably do that tomorrow night. Maybe we'll install it tomorrow night together and see how it works. Okay, with that said, guys, have a good night. See you tomorrow, and